ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So this entire pastime is narrated by Yamadutas. So this is actually pravachan of Yamadutas. Now sometimes this question comes, why pravachan of Yamadutas is included in Srimad Bhagavatam? Because it is important to understand the perspective of Yamadutas also. Because after all, many are going to meet them. So if you understand that how, by doing what we will meet them, at least we will avoid those activities. In Yamadutas, very beautifully, they are describing a very age-old incident. In the Yamadutas, they are saying this. And who are there in the audience? We have 4 Vishnudutas. And his 5th personality also is hearing. Who is that? Ajamila himself. Now you can imagine there's a very, very horrifying scene altogether. The person is lying on the deathbed and there are Vishnudutas around. And Vishnudutas are not speaking. Yamadutas are speaking. And Yamadutas again and again pointing towards him, pointing towards Ajamila. They're speaking about Ajamila. Just think about this if you are there in place of Ajamila. Very, very horrifying scene. So Shukadeva Goswami very beautifully is describing that how the holy name is so powerful, so very powerful, that a great personality who fell from his position, when he chanted even once, he was saved. And that gives a lot of hope for sadhakas like all of us. And Shukadeva Goswami describes this and he says, once upon a time, Kanya kubjed vijakasched Dasipati Rajamilaha Namna Nashta Sadacharo Dasya Samsarga Doshitaha. So there was a city called Kanya Kubja. And in this city, there was a Brahmana whose name was Ajamila. Now see, the introduction of Ajamila is very nice. Introduction of Ajamila says, Dasi Patir Ajamila hai, the husband of a prostitute. How can a prostitute have a husband? But here it is a husband of a prostitute. See, the word that is used is pati. Now, pati word refers to those who maintain someone. So, pati iti pati. So, someone who maintains. So, who was Ajamil? Ajamil was the maintainer of the prostitute. It's a very important thing that the ones who take the role of maintainer, that's a very, very deadly position. Because whatever the subordinate does, the maintainer has to take all the karmic reactions. He has to suffer. Because he's taken the responsibility. And here Ajamil had taken the responsibility to maintain a prostitute. And how was he maintaining the prostitute? The prostitution itself is so sinful. And along with that, Ajamil, to maintain the prostitute, he was committing a lot of sinful activities. What were the sinful activities? Garhitam vritti, condemned professions. What were those? Bandi. So to earn money, Ajamil would kidnap people. Sometimes kids, sometimes adults. And then he'll ask for a lot of money in return. If someone wants the person to be back, okay, give me this much money, then I'll give this person back. Another is Akshay Kaitavai. See, gambling itself is cheating. Ajamil used to cheat in gambling. So you can imagine his elevated position. When I first time read, I was thinking, my God, cheating in gambling. And then, what else he was doing? So these were all indirect. You kidnap someone and then get money. Or you cheat in gambling. But something else also is doing. Chauraihi. Directly plundering. Directly going and stealing money from people. Only for what? Only so that he can get the association of the beautiful prostitute. Only for that. See, Srila Prabhupada writes, the more society allows prostitution and illicit sex, the more impetus it gives to cheaters, thieves, plunderers, drunkards and gamblers. See, she is not wife, no? Wife might still agree, okay, my husband has only this much money, then whatever he gives, that's okay. She is a prostitute. So she will demand, I want it. And say, Ajamil says that I don't have money. Okay, I'm going to someone else. No, you wait. I'll go and get something for you. And then he'll go and do all this nonsense. This illicit sex is such a very dangerous activity which can make the person do anything and everything to an extent of doing all these nonsensical activities. And the person, just imagine, the person will be in so much of illusion, so much of ignorance that he's ready to do anything and everything for an unchaste lady, a prostitute. So much of ignorance the person gets into. Therefore, it's very important that we understand through this pastime that how by the association of a prostitute, the person who is involved in illicit sex, he is ready to go to any extent just to maintain her, acting as pati. And like this, he went on and on and on for many, many, many years. How many years? What was his age? And the age that is given in Srimad Bhagavatam is 88 years. 88 years he was enjoying sex with the prostitute. 88 years. Sometimes people think that with time all these desires will go away, it's okay. Abhi to hum jawan hain. Therefore, the boiling blood. Therefore, I have so much of sex desire. And anyways, with time, and the body will wither away. Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam vruddhoyati grihatva dandam tadapi na munchati asha pindam. Shankaracharya is saying that angam galitam, when the entire body it starts melting. Angam galitam. Palitam mundam, and all the hair will fall. Yes, we are practicing. Dashana vihinam jatam tundam, when all the teeth fall. Vruddhoyati grihatva dandam, when the eternal life partner comes for that life, that is stick. Even at that time, tadapi na munchati asha pindam, desires don't go away. And especially if the person has not practiced devotional service, such sinful desires will never go away. Can you imagine 88 years old? Isn't that a big number? You can imagine at that time what will be the state of the body of the person. Even at that time, even in that invalid state the person is having sex, it means you can imagine what sort of height or intense sex desire the person might be having. I was hearing this in one of the class. Puranic story, Puranic history of Ajamila. I have not come across it, I'll just present as I heard. So in the same village, some saintly people had come. And those saintly people, they asked, who is the most pure personality in this entire village? We want to go to their place. So some boys were playing, they were very mischievous. So those boys said, the only pure person in the entire village is Ajamila. So all these saintly people went there. And then the place was given to him. Some mantap was given where they sat and they did their activities. At that time, these saintly people, their heart melted looking at the sinful activities of Ajamila. And they were the ones who said that in future, when you'll get a son, give him the name Narayana. Because they were knowing what's the point? This person is so much indulged in sexual activities and so much sinful activities. How can this person be saved? Oh, impossible. Therefore, he had 10 sons. And out of 10 sons, the youngest son was named as Narayana. Now, when kids are small, they're very cute. Why they're very cute? Here it is described. Kalabhashini, because of their broken language. They speak like that, no? And whatever they speak, it is so funny. And it feels so cute. And Ajamila would hear. Maybe Narayan would say, Pa. Hey, Papa bola. And he would be so attracted, so very attracted. And then, awkward moments. Maybe the child is walking or doing some mischievous activities or whatever. Looking at that, Ajamila's heart would get driven to him. And then, Baddharadaya, because of all these things, Ajamil was completely attached to this boy, Narayan. And he enjoyed Tat Leelam. He enjoyed his Leelas. He enjoyed his activities. And many times it happens that it is seen, small kids are always dear to everyone. But after growing up, if they do the same thing, they'll get nice beatings after that. Initially, when you're young, you can do whatever. Those are very nice. Even when a small kid, he lies or he laughs, he cheats or he goes and steals something, everything is okay. But after a certain age, nothing is okay. See, one thing that we have to understand is, in Varnashrama system, there is a sequence of events that needs to take place in the life of a sadhaka. He has to stay a brahmachari, following proper brahmacharya for first 25 years. And if at all he plans to get married, he signs an agreement for 25 years. And he stays in family life for 25 years. Yes. So he tells his wife, we'll celebrate 25th marriage anniversary and then we'll quit the material activities. And then the husband and wife, from 51st year, they go for Tirth Yatra. Now please understand, Tirth Yatra is, they're not going for honeymoon. They're going for Tirth Yatra. There is no question of intimate association. Both are just involved in doing spiritual activities and nothing else. What sort of spiritual activities? Especially serving the saintly people, hearing from them. So more they serve saintly people, more they hear from them, naturally detachment develops. It is described, if you associate with Stri Sangi. Stri Sangi means the one who is attached to Stri. You will also develop attachment towards Stri. It is described as Stri is not dangerous. Obviously opposite gender is dangerous. But when it comes to Stri Sangi, he is even more dangerous. Because when you are getting attached to a female, opposite gender, that is your attachment. But the person is already attached. And if you associate with him, his intense attachment will also come to you. I can imagine. So it's not just association, it's transfer of one's attachment to the another person. Very, very deadly thing. Therefore, again and again in Shastra it is said that if you associate with atheistic people, especially Stri Sangi, and obviously the opposite gender and other categories, we fall from the position of devotional service. We deteriorate in our consciousness. And the opposite of that is Bhagavad Sangi. Bhagavad Sangi means those who are attached to Bhagavan. So many times we say that instead of directly serving the Lord, if we can serve the devotees of the Lord, that's much better. You know why? Because we might try to develop attachment to the Lord, we might fail. But then the ones who have already developed attachment to the Lord, if we serve them, we will get that attachment. That's the most easiest way to develop attachment to Krishna. Where you associate with a person who has attachment to Krishna, you serve that person, you hear from that person, and as soon as we associate with the person, the attachment in his heart is transferred to our heart. Therefore it is said that Bhagavad Sangi, such association, helps us to get attached to Krishna, get closer to Krishna. And in this Vanaprastha stage, the husband and wife are expected to associate with such people, such sadhus in various tirtha yatras, in various tirthas. And finally, when there is sufficient attachment in the heart, the husband tells the wife, you remain with the eldest son. I am going to take sannyas. So what is the Stri supposed to do? What is the wife supposed to do staying with the eldest son? See, she is supposed to remain like a sannyasini in the house, not getting involved in any material activities, not interfering in various household activities, only into devotional service. And what about the person who has taken sannyas? He goes around different places preaching the message of Krishna consciousness. So these are the levels of, or these are the stages or phases of life which is described in Shastra. But unfortunately, when people don't follow this is what will take place. 88 years old person is supposed to take sannyas and go around and preach. He is still involved in having illicit sex with a prostitute. मतलब कभी दिमाग में आया भी नहीं एक बार भी कि मैं गलत कर रहा हूँ. Can you imagine? So it's this sinful activity is like quicksand, दलदल. एक बार फंस जाते हैं ना, and then the person goes inside and inside and inside and inside till the point there is no one from outside to come and help us. Therefore, when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, when we hear various different discourses, it's almost like a person from outside is picking us up from that quicksand, from that daldal. That external help is very, very important. And here, Ajamila, he was so much absorbed that he was just getting inside and inside and inside with every activity. But one good thing that he did, by the mercy of the Lord, he named his youngest son as Narayan. And what was happening when this name was given to him? Here it is said, Bhunjanaha prapiban khadam balakam snehayantritah bhojayan payayan modho navedagatamantakam. So Ajamil, his attachment is so great to his son. Bhunjanaha, while eating, Prapiban, while drinking, Khadan, while chewing, Ajamil would always keep his son with him. He would feed him and make him drink. And every time, he would call his son. Come, Narayan, come, we'll eat. Come, Narayan, take water. Come, Narayan, come here, sit here. Narayan, sit here. Come, Narayan, sleep. So in this way, he had no clue that death is very close to him. No clue. He was becoming so attached day by day to his youngest son Narayan. Every time, Narayan, come here. Narayan, where are you going? Don't do Narayan. Narayan, don't do this. And one thing is very clear, that those people who are too much into material activities, too much into Grihamedi life, they will never realize when the death will come and knock the doors. I'm sure all of us are noticing in our day-to-day life that how time is passing so fast. Yes. One day there will be knock on the door. Yes. And you open the door and you ask, who are you? I'm death personified. I've come to take you. And we'll say, itna jaldi? So quick? Actually, it's very, very quick because human life is very short. That's what is described. Prayana alpa ayushya. Very, very short span. And in that, the time is going so fast. And in that, people have time to waste and do various material activities. My God. So that urgency factor is very, very important, in our life. Without urgency factor, we cannot become or we cannot go deep in Krishna consciousness. Because without urgency, the mood will be, arey, bahut time, a lot of time. And when this thought comes that there's a lot of time, immediately the devotee slackens in devotional service. He cannot take to Krishna consciousness very seriously. Not possible. Therefore, each one of us, when we're sitting in such classes and we are hearing discourses from Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the time when we remind ourselves about the urgency factor. And that person who has realized the urgency factor, that person can chant the holy names intensely, calling out to the Lord for his help. Because you will need help only when you are in problem. As simple as that. When everything is going well, and there is no need of any help. But as soon as I realize that I am in a problem, that is very soon I am going to die, immediately, the thought comes, my God, I have not perfected my life. Because as devotees, we don't fear death. You know what we fear? We fear not attaining Krishna. But itna kuch karne ke baad, we have come to devotional service and we're trying our best to take it up seriously. And now, after coming so close to Krishna, if you're not attaining Krishna, the person fails, very utterly he fails. Yes. Therefore, we have to remind ourselves that life is very short. and let me not waste. But Ajamil ko kaun bataye ye sab? Ajamil was busy. He was so attached. Day by day, he was just getting attached. Srila Prabhupada writes, although calling for his son, he was unknowingly chanting the name of Narayan, and the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so transcendently powerful that this chanting was being counted and recorded. So nice, no? This is our Vedic culture. In our Vedic culture, the names of the Lord are given to the individuals. Krishna Das, Vaikuntha Das, Narayan Das. Obviously, with time, the Das is gone. So from Krishna Das, it's Krishna. And in Krishna also few syllables gone. So Krish. Yes. I don't know what else remains after that. And nowadays the names given are also so abominable. See, when he's chanting Narayan, at least he is getting some Sukruti. I don't know, this Pinky, Tawny, Sonu, what people get out of it, I really don't know. Therefore, as our Vedic culture is forgotten and as it is degrading day by day, you will see even the basic activities which were done so perfectly at that time, that is giving a proper name to the son or the daughter, even that is not done now. Yes. So wonderful. Just by calling his son. What was happening? The holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so transcendently powerful that his chanting was being counted and recorded. So he was calling his son. But Lord was thinking, Arey bhai, I am the only Narayan. So you are chanting my name. And therefore you will get credits. Chalo, kitne bar chant kiya? Narayan 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That counting was going on. Therefore, even all of us also, when we are chanting Hare Krishna, we might hear or we might not hear. It is recorded. This person chanted these many times. It's very hope-giving, very hope-giving. But then we might not be able to attain Krishna Prem if you are not chanting offenselessly. That's a different story altogether. That we might not consider now. But it's recorded. For newcomers, it's a very, very hope-giving thing. And now at this point of time, when Ajamil was so much exclusively attached to his son, Narayan, death came. Death personified, knocking his door. And who came? The Yamadutas came. How are they looking? Here's a description by Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami is an amazing video recorder. He records everything. All the features are recorded. He zooms in the camera and then sees all the features and then he describes. Look at what he says. Sapashahastam strindrishtva purushan atidaruna vakratundan urdhvaromna atmanam netumagatan sapashahastam strindrishtva. He saw 3 Yamadutas, 3 people. What were there in their hands? They had pasha, they had a rope. And this rope is very special, that's called Yama Pasha. No mortal being can cut this rope. And this rope is subtle, it's not gross. And then it is said, Ati Daruna. Oh, they were very, very fearsome. Very, very dangerous. Okay, how was their face? Vakratunda. Their face was twisted. Maybe something like this. Yes. So only one part is there and then it goes like this inside, or it's like this. Or an eye is missing, or there is extra eye. Something that is very, very fearsome for an ordinary human being of this planet. Vakratunda. And Urdhva Romna, hair standing erect on their bodies. All hair straight. Yes. Not just here also, all hair straight. So all the ones who put gel and put it up, where is it coming from? And Atmanam Netum Agatan, and they had come for what? To pull Ajamil from the body and take him to the abode of Yamaraj for the punishment. This question comes, ye 3 log kyun aaye? Why only 3? And the answer given to this is, because the sins committed by Ajamil were at 3 levels. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. At 3 levels. At the level of body he committed sin. At the level of speech he committed sin. And at the level of mind he committed sin. Therefore, 3 Yamadutas came. A good news for everyone here. In Kali Yuga, the sins committed at the level of mind is not counted. But there is a catch here. You know why it is not counted? Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. People were so self-controlled that whatever they would think, they would not get it here or into their actions. They were so sense-controlled and self-controlled. But in the age of Kali, whatever you think, immediately it comes to speech or it comes in the form of action. Therefore, I think the administrative officers of this universe, they might have thought, okay, mind wala thoda chhod dete. Anyways, it will come in speech and action. At that time, we'll take care. That's the level of sense control, that we Kali Yuga beings have. One thing that all of us can try to do is, at the level of mind itself, we should purify our thoughts. Obviously, it's difficult, no doubt. It's not easy. But then, if we decide, it's possible. If we purify our mind by various spiritual activities, the Sakshad Angas of Bhakti, as given Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the 64 Angas, they're Sakshat, especially the next 44 Angas which are given, those are Sakshad Angas of Bhakti. If we can practice that diligently every single day, it has the power to cleanse our mind and cleanse our consciousness. Yes. So like this, 3 Yamadutas came to take Ajamila. Now, it is described, as soon as Ajamila saw these 3 Yamadutas, he was very, very scared. One of our devotees in one of the centers, their colleague, their father was leaving his body. So at that time, his father called, because he was not able to speak. His father called for a chit, a paper. And on that, he scribbled something. There are some English letters and there are some Hindi letters also. And in both, anyone can make out, he has written Yamadutas. And then he died after that. I was just wondering that some people might say, ये तो भागवतम में लिखा है, पता नहीं ऐसे होगा कि नहीं. अरे नहीं होता है. Here we have people, they're writing this. He scribbled. And he was not able to write. We can make out it from his handwriting. It was not properly written. But it's very clear that what he has written. Yamadutas. Therefore, those who think, nahi, ye sab to imaginary hai, imagination hai. Like you keep thinking that it's imagination. When they will appear to you, they'll pinch you nicely. Then you'll understand what's the reality. So that time, as soon as he saw these 3 Yamadutas, he went mad, he went bewildered. And he was so attached to his son, Narayan, who was playing nearby. He's calling out for his son. Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And Sridhar Swami, he says, according to the Siddhanta of Bhakti, it is to be analyzed that because Ajamila constantly chanted his son's name, Narayan, he was elevated to the platform of Bhakti, although he did not know it. This is called as Agyata Sukriti. He does not know what he is doing, but since he is chanting the primary names of the Lord, he is getting the benefit of that. It's very touching, and at the same time it's very humorous, that our Lord is searching for reasons to bestow Agyata Sukriti in all of us. I was hearing, if there is a word which starts with R and there are a few letters in between and there is Ma at the end, Lord says, "Arey, dekho, isne Ram bola." Hey, Ram kahan bola? There's some other name altogether. He says, see, first it says Ra and there is Ma. And you join that. Rama. Chalo, credit do isko, credit do. Lord is searching for reasons to give all of us Agyata Sukriti. And that's how each one of us sitting here today to hear Srimad Bhagavatam class, we all have amassed Agyata Sukriti. And that's how today, we have come, or in this life, we have come to a stage where we're coming together and talking about taking bhakti seriously and chanting the holy names of the Lord offenselessly. All glories to our Lord. Itna mehnat koi nahi karta. No one does so much of hard work. No one. It's only our Lord who does so much of hard work. He sees all of us. Why these people are struggling so much? Why they're going behind Lakpati, Karodpati and all of them? Arey Baba, I'm Lakshmipati, come to me. I'm your father, your mother is Lakshmi. Come, you're opulent child. Why are you begging on the street? Working for some lechas? The mood is very, very clear of the Lord. He wants to get each and every living entity back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, he searches. Isko kahan credit diya jaye? I said, when we commit sins through mind, it's not counted. Look at another rule. But if you do any pious activity through the mind or devotional activity through the mind, that is counted. Abhi bol sakte Hari bol. This is the glory of the Lord. That okay, sinful activity is not counted. But yes, please count as pious activities. You karta to hai nahi physically, at least man mein kar liya, achhi baat hai. And then spiritual activities, all the angas of bhakti, okay, he has done in the mind, no problem. So if someone offers a tulasi mentally, or someone offers a very, very beautiful jeweled necklace to the Lord mentally, he'll get the same credit of offering it physically. How's that? That's the glory of the Lord. Lord has made these different rules for all of us. Bhagwan bol rahe, ye kuch karte nahi, man mein to kar lo bhai. Now sometimes you do at least, so that I can give you some credits. And here we see that how Ajamila, unknowingly he was chanting the holy names of the Lord. He was calling out for his son. But Lord was hearing that and he was bestowing him with Sukruti, with Agyata Sukruti or spiritual credits. And when he chanted Na, Ra, Ya, Na, 4 syllables. And at that time, just hearing these 4 syllables, the servants of Narayan, the servants of Vishnu, 4 Vishnudutas appeared there. Very, very beautiful appearance. Srila Vijayadvaja Tirtha, he says, one of the acharyas in Madhva line, Ajamila chanted the name of Narayan because of his excessive attachment to his son. Nevertheless, because of his past good fortune in having rendered devotional service to Narayan, he apparently chanted the holy name in full devotional service and without offenses. So this is the power of Bhakti Angas. He chanted it unknowingly, but still, since he chanted it in a state or in a stage where he was in a great critical situation, it was offenseless and was full of devotion. And Prabhupada also writes that since Ajamila in his childhood, he rendered devotional service, by that he was reminded of the Lord and he called out the name Narayan with full devotion. Therefore, when it comes to Angas of Bhakti, these are not ordinary. Sometimes people ask me this question, that whatever I am doing, Prabhuji, I am doing it mechanically. You do it mechanically, or you do it with emotions, or you do it with whatever way you want. The Angas of Bhakti are powerful. Say there is a fire in front of me. Mechanically I touch it, or emotionally I touch it. My hands are going to get burnt anyways. So this is called as Vastu Shakti. Technically, it's called as Vastu Shakti. So Vastu Shakti of fire is to burn. And Vastu Shakti of the holy name is to purify. Therefore, initially, if it's mechanical, no problem. Go on. But there should be a goal. There should be an intense desire that I want to stop the mechanical chanting and come on to a higher platform of offenseless chanting with love and devotion. This is the mode that with time we have to develop. But initially, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I've heard from newcomers, they say, I'm not able to focus, therefore I'm not increasing my rounds. Very nice. And you ask them, how many rounds you're chanting? 1 round, trying to chant in very, very quality way. After 1 year you ask, yes, I'm still trying to chant. 1 quality round. After 1 more year you ask, same, continuous. So quality is important, but quantity is also not less important. More you increase quantity and more you do it consistently, we get a desire to do it quality way also. We want to maintain the quality, we want to increase the quality. Therefore, our Acharya Srila Prabhupada said minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra if we chant, we receive the mercy of the Acharya because we are following the instruction of the Acharya. And every time we follow the instruction of the Acharya, remember, Lord is very pleased with us. And since Lord is pleased with us, we will advance in bhakti. Therefore, each and every one of us always should look forward for instructions given by Srila Prabhupada. And just see if we are able to implement those instructions or not. If we can do that, our life will be successful. No doubt about that. So any anga of bhakti that we are doing as instructed by the Acharya, that will surely bear fruit, a transcendental fruit that will be very, very blissful. And here Ajamil, look at him. Unknowingly he chanted. But then the 4 Vishnudutas came. Now the situation is very amazing here. Ajamil is lying on his deathbed. Vishnudutas, 3 Vishnudutas on one side, very ugly. And they have put Yamapash and they are pulling. They are pulling Ajamil out of the body. And here the 4 Vishnudutas have come and they're very beautiful. And Vishnudutas, they loudly shout in a rumbling voice to stop the Yamadutas from taking Ajamil to hellish planets. Now here comes some analysis. Very beautifully it is said, Prabhupada says, a Vaishnava, one who has surrendered to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, is always protected by Lord Vishnu's order carriers. Such a hope-giving thing, you see. Each and every devotee who is practicing devotional service with surrender, such a devotee is taken care by the Lord. How Lord takes care of them? Through His associates. And those who are completely surrendered to the Lord, Lord personally takes care of those people. Sometimes I wonder that how much service Lord is rendering to each living entity. He employs His personal associates to take care of the living entities. And for some others, He personally comes to take care of them. This is the glory of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the glory. How much ever we speak about the service of the Lord, it's not less. So much of service that He renders for each and every living entity. And these Vishnudutas, their voice was so strong. It was thundering like the thundering in the clouds. And as soon as Yamadutas heard, they were shocked. They gave up the rope and stood apart. They went behind. Prabhupada takes the opportunity here and he establishes a very wonderful point. He says, here is a proof that soul resides in the heart. The soul resides in the region of the heart, and that's how the Yamadutas, they had put Yamapash and pulling the soul of Ajamil out from the heart. So in this way we understand that these Yamadutas, they are pulling the soul from the heart. Now sometimes people say, oh, he had a very peaceful death. Why peaceful death? अरे वो रात को सोते सोते ही मर गया. Oh Lord, please bless me. मतलब वो बोल रहा था ऐसे. Please bless me also so that I can also die like this. रात को सोते सोते मर जाओ. Externally, the picture might be like that, where the person is very peacefully dying. But internal thing, no one knows. It's only the Yamadutas who know and the Lord who knows the pain that the living entity goes through. Just imagine when you lose a mobile phone, or when you lose a wallet, or you lose any gadgets for that matter, it pains in the heart, isn't it? Yes. And at the time of death, whatever we have amassed till now, everything, all the property and the bank balance, the relationships and everything is lost at one go. And when the soul is pulled out from the heart, the soul feels so much of pain. Why? Because the soul is attached to the body and the entity is connected to the body. They're so attached. He's saying, nahi, aana hai, mujhe nahi aana hai. And Vishnudutas are pulling him. And he's like, no, I don't want to come. And they're pulling. So the pain that the spirit soul goes through at the time of death because of this pulling is compared to, in Garud Puran, as 100 scorpions biting at one time. So these statements, rest in peace, peaceful death, all this is joke and nothing else. Yes. Because death cannot be peaceful. Because the background scenario that is there, which is not seen by people, is very, very deadly. Very, very deadly. And here we understand very clearly that how the Yamadutas, they are pulling Ajamil. And Ajamil was going through that pain. And that pain he shouted Narayana. And these 4 Vishnudutas came. They, in a great rumbling voice, they stopped the Yamadutas. And at that time, Yamadutas, dhur khade hoke, dar kar, they're asking question. And look at the Yamadutas questions. Keyuyam pratished dharah dharmarajasya shasana. Who are you? You're challenging the jurisdiction of Yamraj. Who are you? Now, in this question, they're enhancing and they're saying, Kasya? Whose servants are you? First they're asking, who are you? And then they're asking, whose servants are you? Kuta ayatah? Where have you come from? Kasmadasya nishedata? And why are you forbidding us from taking the sinful person away to the hellish planets? And now they're asking, they're giving options. Kim Deva? Are you demigods? Upadeva? Are you sub-demigods like Gandharvas, Apsaras and others? Are you Siddha Sattama? Are you pure devotees of the Lord? Now these are the questions asked by Yamadutas. One point which caught my attention was, Kasya, whose servants are you? In the Vedic system, it's very clear that the person is a servant of someone. So if you ask the Brahmana, whose servant are you? The Brahmana would say that, I'm servant of the Lord. If you ask the Kshatriya, whose servants are you? I'm servant of the Brahmana. If you ask the Vaishyas, whose servants are you? I'm the servant of Kshatriya and the Brahmana. If you ask the Shudras, whose servants are you? And he'll say all the higher three class of people. In this way, entire Vedic system, it's very natural to have the mood of servant. Because in the Vedic system, we are trained slowly and steadily to come to the stage of becoming the servant of Krishna. Because finally our constitutional position is this. Jivera Swarup Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. So in the material world when we have come and when we accept the Vedic fold, this is what training is given. The training of becoming the servant. And this training is so nice and so wonderful that naturally the person starts getting the mood of the servant and the service attitude. And with that service attitude, when he comes in touch with devotees, he becomes a wonderful devotee. And with time, he realizes the constitutional position and rest is a known fact of attaining Krishna Premi and going back home, back to Godhead. So this word Kasya is very nice. Whose servants are you? And now, Shukadeva Goswami, as he described the Yamadutas, he takes the opportunity to zoom his camera to all the 4 Vishnudutas who have come. And there he says, very beautiful. Sarve Padmapala Shakshah Pita Kausheya Vasasa Kiritinah Kundalino Lasat Pushkara Malinaha. Survey all 4 of them. They had beautiful eyes. Padma Palasha. They had eyes like the lotus petals. Many times we hear this. The comparison is given to lotus petals. Pita Kausheya Vasasa. And all of them they were wearing yellow garments. Kiritinaha. They're wearing very beautiful crown. English is such a poor word. We said helmet. They were wearing helmet. Yes. And people like us will remember only one helmet. Yes. But here it is a very beautiful crown, very beautiful helmet. Kundalino, they're wearing earrings. Lasat Pushkara Malinaha. And very, very beautiful glittering garland of lotus flowers. Please repeat. Sarvecha Nutna Vayasaha. Sarvecharu Chaturbhujaha. Dhano Nisangasi Gada Shankha Chakrambuja. And their beautiful 4 hands, they were very fresh, youthful, and they were holding different weapons. Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, all of us know. They were holding Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. And what were the other weapons they were holding? Bows and quivers of arrows, swords and clubs. In this way, they were ready with all the weapons. Disho viti miraloka kurvanta svena tejasa kim artham dharma palasya kinkirano nishedhata. See, here it is described. Disho vitim miraloka. Their effulgence was so great from the body, whatever darkness was there, all that was getting dissipated. But they had this question, why are you obstructing our duty? Who are you? See, they are looking exactly like Lord Vishnu. Exact. Only they don't have two things in their attire. What are the two things they don't have? Kaustuba Mani and one more mark. Srivatsa mark. Srivatsa, right side, yes, right side. Srivatsa mark and Kaustuba jewel. Only these two they don't have. And most of the people anyways don't know what Vishnu wears. Yes. What's the difference between Vishnudutas and Vishnu? So when Yamadutas are asking, who are you? They could have said, Vishnu. Vishnu. Sir, the true servants of the Lord will never call themselves as God. It's a great insult for them. Because they understand that we are nowhere in comparison to God. How is he calling me Vishnu? Therefore, whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was called, you are Krishna, you just close the ears and say, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. How can a mortal being like me be the Supreme Lord? But look at us, someone glorifies us as Supreme. We'll be happy? Yeah, I am. Yes. What's the problem? I accept. The difference between a Baddha Jeev and a Nitya Mukta is this. We like our glorification. We feel it nectarian. Whereas the great souls, they feel their glorification to be like the molten iron poured into their ears. They feel it painful. And therefore they don't like it. Because for them, they understand very well that glorification is only of one person, and that is Lord Sri Krishna. He deserves glorification and not me. Such a wonderful mode this is. Such a wonderful mode. And they know very well, glorification of the Lord can purify these people and not my glorification. And that's a fact. Therefore, all the Braja Gopis, they are singing very beautifully in Gopi Geet. Tava kathamratam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham Shravana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grananti Ye Bhuridajana. So Gopis are saying, oh Lord, your katha, your glories, they have the power to cleanse the heart of all these living entities who are tapta, who are suffering. And they create all auspiciousness. Therefore, the pure devotees of the Lord, when they are asked, who are you? They say, I am servant of the Lord. When Srila Prabhupada was once called as Krishna, there are few sannyasis who started telling, actually Prabhupada is Krishna. Prabhupada is God. Prabhupada suspended them from ISKCON for some time. Prabhupada could have said, no, yes, it's me. Yes, it's me. But you know what? The true servants of the Lord will never accept the position of God. And the fake so-called servants of the Lord, they'll be happy to receive the title God. I was hearing one such bogus sadhu, so he was telling that I sat in the auto and the auto wala said, Sakshat wahi aaye hain mere auto mein baithne ke liye. He is telling his students, देखिए एक ऑटो वाले को भी इतना दिव्य ज्ञान. So indirectly, look at this. This is the indirect way of saying that, see, I am God. When I heard that, I was feeling like, bajao isko kaan ke niche. Therefore, whenever Srila Prabhupada would speak about Mayavadis, he would go mad. Because they would not glorify the Lord. They would try to prove that how Lord's form is Maya, name is Maya, His glories are Maya. Therefore, Vaishnavas cannot tolerate that, because Vaishnavas, they have that natural mood of servant of the Lord. And whenever the master is blasphemed, the servants will become very, very, very angry. And that anger is shown through their speech and their actions. And here we see these personalities are so beautiful, so very beautiful. But when they are asked, who are you? They are not saying that we are Vishnu. They are not saying that. At this point of time, Vishnudutas didn't bother to answer the question of Yamadutas. Kasya, whose servants are you? Who are you? Why are you obstructing our job? But Vishnudutas at that time, they smiled. They smiled and they started speaking. Our acharyas, they're very wonderful. Whatever these personalities do, they want to do analysis. So here's a question that is asked. Why Vishnudutas smiled? आज जब हम लोग परपट पढ़ते हैं हमें फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. ठीक है, तो स्माइल किया, नेक्स्ट बताओ. But look at the acharyas, they focus on this one, they smile. Why did the Vishnudutas smile? Because the Vishnudutas were thinking, what is this nonsense? What is nonsense these people are speaking? If they're actually servants of Yamaraj, they should know that Ajamila is not a suitable candidate to go to hell. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that the Vishnudutas, they started thinking, actually these people don't know dharma. Because they're fearful of us looking at all these weapons and all, they're saying, hey, we are servants of Yamaraj. Who are you people? And therefore they're smiling. And here is a very nice description. Both the parties were surprised. Yamadutas were surprised and Vishnudutas are also surprised. Yamadutas are surprised, they are thinking, इतने साल से हम ये जॉब कर रहे हैं. Never it happened that anyone obstructed our job. First time that two people who look so beautiful, so effulgent, they are coming and obstructing our job. What is this? So they are surprised. And Vishnudutas are surprised that they are thinking, what is this? These people are claiming themselves to be Yamadutas and they don't know the basic religious principles. They have come to take this Mahatma Ajamil. जैसे आप लोग हंस रहे वैसे Yamadutas were also mad. जैसे ही Vishnudutas would say he's a Mahatma, and Yamadutas will maybe look at each other and scratch their who this 88-year-old man who entire life spent his precious time with a prostitute doing sinful activity, Mahatma. They are not able to understand. They are not able to understand at all. So at this point of time, Vishnudutas are asking questions. Yamadutas का question answer नहीं किए, ये लोग अपने side से question पूछ रहे. When Yamadutas asked, Kasya, who are you? Whose servant are you? Why are you obstructing our duty? And Vishnudutas are saying, वो सब छोड़ो, answer our questions. And at that time, Vishnudutas, they asked 4 questions. First question, if you are really the servants of Yamaraj, then tell us, Dharmasya Tattvam, the meaning of Dharma. Because you should know the meaning of Dharma because you have come to take people who are adharmic. And also at the same time, you should tell us, Adharmasya Lakshanam, what are the symptoms of adharma? And then third, Katham Svid Dhriyate Dandah, and what is the process of punishment? Tell us what is the process of punishment. And the fourth one, Dandaya Kim Karinah Sarve Aho Svid Katichindranam, and who are actually the candidates for punishment? This is the question that they are asking. Are all the karmis punishable? So these are the 4 questions asked by Vishnudutas to Yamadutas. First, meaning of dharma. Second, the symptoms of adharma. Third, the process of punishment. And the fourth, who are the actual candidates for punishment? These are the 4 questions that they're asking. See, Srila Prabhupada, he takes the opportunity here in this particular shloka and he says, one who represents someone else must fully know that person's mission. So now, see these Yamadutas, they're saying we are representatives of Yamaraj. They should know fully what is the mission of Yamaraj. And at this point of time, Prabhupada says, the devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement must therefore be fully aware of the mission of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya, otherwise they will be considered foolish. All devotees, especially preachers, must know the philosophy of Krishna consciousness so as not be embarrassed and insulted when they preach. It happens, sometimes people go on the street while distributing books and there's this describing something in the book and the other person is asking a question and the devotee is blank. क्या बोलूं इसको मैं? And then जब कुछ नहीं आता है, ओ सेंटर में हमारे मेंटर से पूछ लेना आप आके, अभी बुक लो, then सेंटर में आना. It doesn't work. Every preacher should be equipped very nicely with the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. He should know all the basics. At least the basics, if not in depth something, but at least the basics of Krishna consciousness. Because if we say that we belong to ISKCON, we belong to the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes. So immediately people would ask, okay, so what are the basic things? What are the basic philosophy? And they'll ask questions, they'll speak Mayavad, they'll have their own atheistic arguments, so on and so forth. So at this point of time, when when Prabhupada is telling all these different things to us, we should make it a note and make sure we understand what is the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, you will see mostly the preachers, when they address the serious crowd, they don't speak much on pastime, they speak philosophy. Because the serious crowd is expected to understand the philosophy, because this philosophy will be tested when they are on the street. And they should be able to answer. And those devotees who are able to logically defeat or logically convince the other person to come to Krishna consciousness, they are glorified. They are glorified because they are doing a wonderful service. So at this point of time, Yamadutas, when they heard these 4 questions, already they were scared looking at their weapons. Inke paas sirf rassi tha. They had only a rope. And these people are having swords and bows and arrows and quivers of arrows. They had gada, they had chakra, shankha and padma. Very humbly they started answering the question. They answered the first 2 questions. They said, Veda pranahito dharmo ya dharmastad viparyayah Vedo narayana sakshat swayambhuriti shushma. See, they are so well trained. In 1-2 lines they answered the question. So what is dharma? Veda pranahito dharma. That which is described in Vedic scriptures, that is dharma. Second, adharmas tad viparyayah. And that which is opposite to what is described in Shastra, that is adharma. Simple. Sometimes when the question is asked about what is dharma, adharma, we scratch our head. Look at Yamadutas, so wonderfully they answer it. And if Vishnudutas, just to test them, if they ask, what is so special about Vedas? What is so special? He said, Vedo Narayana Sakshat. Vedas are actually directly Narayan himself. Are kahan se suna ye sab? And they say, Swayambhuriti Shushruma. We have heard from Yamaraj. And Yamaraj is one of the 12 Mahajans described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Please repeat. Very beautiful. 12 names of Mahajan. Very purifying. Swayambhur Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Mano Prahalado Janako Bhishmo Balirvaya Sakhirvayam. So you have to tell me who are these 12 personalities. First, Swayambhu, Brahma. Narada. Shambhu, Shiva, Lord Shiva. Kumaraha, the 4 Kumaras. Kapila, the Kapil Dev, yes, the one who gave the Sankhya philosophy. Manu, Swayambhuva Manu. Prahlad we know, yes. Janak Maharaj, father of Maya Sita, yes. Bhishma, we know. Bhishma Dev is a very great devotee, pure devotee of the Lord. Okay, Bali Maharaj, so Bali Maharaj, Maman Dev, that Bali. Okay, Vaiyasaki, Shukadev Goswami. Vayam. So Yamaraj is telling this to Yamadutas, that there are 12 Mahajans. And while describing the names, he said 11 and finally this is Vayam, me. So Yamaraj. So in this way we see that 12 Mahajans, and these 12 Mahajans are called Mahajans because they know the crux of Krishna consciousness, the preachers of Krishna consciousness. They are the authorities of Krishna consciousness. So what they speak, that is the ultimate. And that's what is very beautifully given here. That's very nice to note that Arjuna killed many people on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, but still he was called as following dharma. Why he was called as following dharma? Because he was following Krishna's words as it is. Therefore, the real dharma is to follow Krishna's instructions. And when we say following Krishna's instructions means the instructions which comes down from Krishna in the parampara and that which is given to us by the current acharya. And it's so nice. If this question is asked, Sakshad Narayan. Okay, Vedas are Sakshad Narayan. Dharma is what is given in Vedas. Vedas are Sakshad Narayan. You have heard it from Yamaraj. What is so great about Narayan? I suppose someone is testing, or Vishnudutas themselves are testing Yamadutas. So at that time they say that Narayan has a very important role to play. What is that role? He is situated in his own abode, Swadhamni. And he controls the entire cosmic manifestation. How he controls all the cosmic manifestation? Through three modes of material nature. Thus, by the controlling of the Lord through three modes of material nature, Jivas, they appear with different qualities, names, duties and forms. It's very nice to note that Lord need not personally come and do something here. He can do through all his energies, and therefore he says, Maya Dakshena Prakriti. Under my Adhyaksha, this Prakriti is working. And he's telling Arjuna as well, 1861. He says, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Riddhesha Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantrarudhani Maya. I am controlling the living entities. But how is he controlling the living entities? Through three modes of material nature. So now this question might be asked, okay, we understood that Narayan is playing a very important role. He is Supreme Lord. But how will you find out who is doing dharma and adharma? Because someone might hide in one corner in a dark room and he might commit suicide. Or kisi ne dekha nahi? And how will you make out? So at that time, the Yamadutas, they are saying this. They are saying that there are n number of, n is a dash number of witnesses. This is a very, very revealing thing and very important thing for all of us also to understand. We are watched. There are not one or two CCTV cameras, many CCTV cameras. Let's count them now. Suryogni kham maruddeva Soma sandhya hanidashaha Kam kho swayam dharma iti Iyete dhaya yasya sakshinaha. Okay, let's count. First is Surya. Next, Agni. Agni means fire. So when we say Surya, we're talking about Surya Dev. Agni is Agni Dev. Third is Kham. Kham, sky. Marud, air. Devaha. We're talking about Devatas, demigods. 5 over here. Soma, moon. Then Sandhya, evening. And then Ahani. Ahani is both day and night. So day and night together. Yes. And then Disha, directions. Now this is a little difficult. Come. Aap logo text dekhe water. Yes. It's water. Ku. Ku is land. And here it says Swayam. Yamaraj is saying Swayam. And Swayam can be Paramatma or it can be Yamaraj. How many? 12. Count again. Sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and Yamaraj himself or Paramatma. So 13. 13 CCTV cameras always on us. And when we are taken, say, by mistakenly, we end up in hell. And they are telling us, तूने ये पाप किया था. At that time we say, क्या साक्षी है? And then there are 13 TVs, and on 13 TVs, they display that activity that we had done. See, one thing we have to we have to understand very clearly that in this world, proper judgment might not be given, even in the Supreme Court. But when it comes to Yamaraj's court, there are 13 witnesses. And Yamaraj is also included in that. Therefore, it's very, very important that all of us understand this fact that we are always watched on by these 13 personalities. एंड ऐसा नहीं कि वो बीच में ब्रेक लेके आते हैं ना, आप 12 लोग देखो, मैं जाके आता हूँ, थोड़ा प्रसाद लेके आता हूँ. I've got some other service, I'll come, you all, other 11 people you see. Nothing like that. All 13 of them, they are empowered very nicely to make sure that they keep a watch on all the activities that all of us do. So now the question is asked, so who are the candidates for punishment? This was the question of Vishnudutas to Yamadutas. Who are the candidates for punishment? And the answer is very beautiful. And the answer is, the candidates for punishment are those who are confirmed by these witnesses. If these witnesses say that this person is deviated, yes, he is the one. And then they go on to say, everyone engaged in fruitive activities are subjected to punishment according to sinful acts. तो जो भी कुछ भी एक्टिविटी कर रहा है, fruitive activities, any karma, that person is eligible for punishment. So, all are punishable because everyone is doing some or the other activity. So, all are punishable. And at that time, Yamadutas, they are telling, look at the knowledge of Yamadutas, very deep and very nice. They are saying, everyone under the modes are punishable. Kyun? Why are you saying like that? Because in this world, even if someone wants to be inactive, he cannot be inactive. Because 3 modes of material nature are acting on the person. And he will do some activity because he is under 3 modes of material nature. And since he is doing activities in this material world, eventually he will end up committing sin. Therefore, O Vishnudutas, hamara rajya is pure dunya mein hai. And we can take all these people who are there to the hellish planets. Isn't that wonderful news? Yes, very bold. Very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Because as human beings, as we speak in the initial classes also, as human beings, since we have intelligence, we are expected to act in a certain way. And when we don't act in a certain way, these 13 witnesses, they make a note, and that note is submitted to Yamaraj's office. And at that time, we are caught and we are punished. So, if you see, all the human beings actually, they have already done parikrama of hell and they have come here. And don't know how many of them are again planning to go and suffer in hellish planet. And hellish planet is not a very wonderful place. Yes, it's not a wonderful place. Hellish planet, as described in the 5th canto, last chapter, very, very dangerous, very dangerous. And the living entity is tortured like anything there. Karega, phir se karega, phat. Oh, you want to drink alcohol? Come here. I'll put molten iron in your mouth now. And Yamadutas, they are holding the mouth and then molten iron is poured in that. Bada tujhe illicit sex karna tha. Any lady who walks on the street, you want to see her and enjoy her? Okay, come. See, here is a beautiful lady. Look at her. She is shining so beautifully. Look at her body part, so beautiful. And actually, that lady is very beautiful. But this person who is taken to hell is like, nay. You know why? Because that lady is not a living lady, but it's a form made up of metal. And that metal is red hot. And the Yamadutas, they push the person. Ja. Go, kiss her, go. Go embrace her. And this person, he doesn't. So at that time, Yamadutas, they pull the person and make forcefully that person to embrace the hot, beautiful form of the female. Anyways, I'll not describe more. Raat ko neend nahi aayegi main. So here is a very important point that is made, that anyone who is in this material world is subjected to punishment. They can go to hell. Okay, what is the process of punishment? So all the people will get same punishment. And at that time, Yamadutas are saying, no. Based on their proportion. Based on the proportion of adharma that they do, based on that, they are given the reactions. They are given the punishment. And whatever activities we're doing now, punya or papa, remember, little part of it is given in this life. Almost negligible, you can say. But most of it in the next life. Like for example, if someone, say, offers a donation, yes, he might not immediately become rich in this life. But next life, for sure, he will be a millionaire or billionaire, no doubt about that. Yes. And the person, many times people say, oh, itna paap kar raha hai, fir bhi is enjoying so much. Don't worry. 13 witnesses, they have made a note. Why you're worrying so much? Yes. They'll have nice time. They'll be received very nicely with nice arti, nice fire, in hellish planets. And they'll be worshipped nicely, don't worry. Therefore, one thing is very clear, that in this world, the mortal beings might miss out punishing someone. But when it comes to Yamaraj, or Supreme Lord's authority, and this entire administration, universal administration, people will not be spared. And even each one of us sitting here, it's very important that each one of us should understand this fact, that every person in this material world is eligible to go to hell. But the good news is, anyone who chants Hare Krishna, puts tilak, kanthi, that person will not be going to hell. How's that? But those who act over smart, okay, मतलब अभी तो यमदूतास कुछ कर नहीं सकते, वहाँ आएंगे तो भी ठेंगा दिखाऊंगा उनको. Anyways, I have tilak, I have kanthi, you cannot touch me. Anyone who acts over smart and commits sins on the strength of the holy name, they are punished even more. Yes, they are punished even more. A situation will be created where tilak is wiped off and kanthi is also removed. Just imagine a person is not well and he's taken to operation theatre. निकल जाएगा, सब कुछ निकल जाएगा. And then Yamadutas will come. बड़ा ठेंगा दिखा रहा था तू मुझे. Come, let's go. There is no question of becoming over smart and committing sinful activities. And anyways, devotees, all the devotees here are sincere. And I'm sure we are taking care that we don't commit sinful activities. But you know what? Our goal is not escaping from hell. वो थोड़ी goal है हमारा. Yes. And we cannot be satisfied with that. Chalo, अच्छा है, I'm not going to hell. That is not our goal. Our goal is to attain Krishna. If we don't attain Krishna, that itself is hellish for a devotee. That itself is hellish. He thinks, what's the point of this life if I cannot attain Krishna? Even if he is not taken to hell, the current life itself will become hellish for him. Therefore, each one of us should develop that greed that I want to attain Krishna this very life. And the only way to attain Krishna is by rendering devotional service. More we become sincere and serious in devotional service. Seriousness talks about consistency in practice. Come what may, I will continue doing devotional service. And we have so many examples here. Now I know some devotees, come what may, they don't stop rendering devotional service. Doesn't matter what is the problem with the health or the problem with family members or anything for that matter. They don't stop. There are so many wonderful examples in our organization also, where even when people go through so much of health issues, but they are unstoppable personalities. Krishna is purposely setting an example for us to see and learn and get inspired. Therefore, when we say I'm serious, it means I'm consistently practicing bhakti. Okay, when I say I'm sincere, what does that mean? I'm sincere means I don't want anything in life, I just want to attain Krishna. These are the two words, the two S, which is again and again used by Srila Prabhupada. Become serious and become sincere. Having only one goal, that I want to attain Krishna. And therefore a devotee always keeps longing, oh Lord, please help me. Please help me. And a devotee's prayer is this, okay, it doesn't matter because I have my prarabdha and I have to go through it. No doubt about that. But oh Lord, you give me enough strength so that I don't stop rendering devotional service to you. This is the prayer that a devotee offers. Because what satisfies a devotee is not, chalo bach gaya, I am not going to hell. What satisfies a devotee is consistent practice of devotional service. That is serving Lord Krishna with love and devotion. So that is the goal of all of us. And how do we become sincere and serious? By more hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. When we hear such prasangas, especially the case study of Ajamila, one thing that we will surely realize is, okay, I should not be doing sinful activities. And when we hear the other prasangas, other incidences, or other case studies given in Srimad Bhagavatam, then we realize, oh, okay. So one is avoiding the negative, and the other one is accepting the positive, especially the intense desires of these pure devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, more we spend time with these Bhagavatas mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, more we will develop the intense desire. And by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we will be able to make it to the ultimate abode, that is Goloka Vrindavan. And sometimes devotees are not even bothered about going to Goloka Vrindavan. They just want to attain Krishna Prema and continue serving wherever Lord instructs them. There's a very, very high level of mood that devotees develop. And this high level of mood is what is given to us in our parampara, Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Parampara, or Gaudiya Parampara in general. And therefore each one of us, we are very, very fortunate that Gaudiya Vaishnavas consider Bhagavatam to be natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And we are studying that Srimad Bhagavatam by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.